G'day everyone and welcome back to Australian Music History. I'm Mark and this is Popular But Not Hits. 15 great Australian songs from 1983 that got plenty of airplay and plenty of pub play but never quite cracked the national top 20. 1983, the year Australian music was firing on every cylinder at once. New wave, hard rock, synth pop, pub rock, all of it happening simultaneously and all of it feeding the same hungry circuit of pubs, clubs and radio stations. So the charts could only carry so many songs. A lot of great ones fell through the cracks. And our number one today, when I tell you what it charted at and then you hear it, you're going to wonder what on earth was going on, because this one genuinely deserved better. This is Popular But Not Hits 1983. Let's count them down. Number 15, I Need You by Avion. Avion arrived in 1983 with a polished, radio-ready confidence that belied their almost total lack of public profile. I Need You is a bright, propulsive, melodic rock song with a chorus that sticks on first listen and refuses to leave. The kind of song that should have had radio programmers reaching for the repeat button.
I need you. I can see that I need you here with me.
It charted at number 61, which tells you less about the song and more about how brutal the 1983 market was for new acts without an existing fan base behind them. The potential was obvious. The timing just wasn't kind. Number 14, Watch the World by the Little Heroes. Rupert Hine was the man turning the knobs for Tina Turner and Rush in this period. Cathedral-sized productions, layer on layer, everything given room to breathe. When the Little Heroes landed him as a producer, that ambition came with them, and Watch the World sounds like it was built for the biggest stages in the country. It first charted in October 1983 and peaked at number 73. The Little Heroes had the songs, they had the sound, and they had exactly the right producer. The audience somehow never fully caught up. One of the genuine what-ifs of the era. Number 13, Some People Have All the Fun by John English. By 1983, John English had already lived several musical lives, from the operatic sweep of Paris to the swaggering pub rock of Hollywood 7. Some People Have All the Fun is him at his most joyful, sun-drenched and grinning ear to ear. It's not a complicated song, just a good one.
Some people have all the fun. Some people have all the fun. Some guys
15 weeks on the chart at number 50. The people who found it loved it. The shame is more didn't go looking. Number 12, Cut the Talking by the Dewguytes. Perth's Dewguytes were one of Australia's finest and most underappreciated new wave exports, and this is the document that proves it. Linda Nutter's vocal is cool, clipped, and absolutely authoritative, riding a rhythm track that still sounds impossibly sharp 4 decades on. First charted November 1983 and peaked at number 47. A band this sharp deserved a chart position with a 2 in front of it. That it never came is one of the quiet injustices of the era. Number 11, Siren, Never Let You Go by Divinyls. Before I Touch Myself turned them into an international talking point, the Divinyls were a raw, unpredictable live force that made music industry people genuinely nervous. Mark Opitz, the man behind Chisel's best records, was behind the desk, which tells you the ambition level was high from the start.
Never let you go, go, go. Never let you go.
First charting in April 1983 and peaked at number 45. Amphlet's vocal coils around the track like something barely under control, switching between a whisper and something far more unsettling. The charts undervalued it by 30 places easy. Number 10, Show Me Some Discipline by the Sunny Boys. By mid-1983, the Sunny Boys were already carrying pressures that would eventually derail them entirely. But none of that is audible here. Jeremy Oxley's power pop instincts are at full voltage, compact, melodic, and completely irresistible. The kind of guitar song that should have been on every radio station in the country.
Show me some discipline, I'll show you mine. Please show
It first charted in July 1983 and peaked at number 44. That it didn't travel further remains one of the quieter disappointments of the year. Everything that made the Sunny Boys great is right there in under 3 minutes. Number 9, My Girl by the Hoodoo Gurus. The Hoodoo Gurus arrived fully formed. 2.5 minutes of ringing, perfectly tuned garage pop. As if the Easy Beats and the Velvet Underground had locked themselves in a King's Cross rehearsal room and refused to leave until they'd nailed something timeless.
Oh, my girl, don't love me at all. My girl, don't love me at all.
First hit the charts in October 1983 and peaked at number 35. Dave Faulkner was already one of Australia's best songwriters, and almost nobody knew it yet. Within a year, Stone Age Romeos would be sitting at number 1 on the American College chart. The home crowd was still catching up. Before we get into the top 8, if you're enjoying this one, hit subscribe and tap the bell and drop a comment. Which of these do you still remember from the pubs or the radio? I read every single comment. Number 8, It's a Mistake by Men at Work. By 1983, Men at Work were one of the biggest bands on the planet. Down Under and Who Can It Be Now had conquered the world. So when they released a sardonic, brilliantly arranged anti-war broadside, you'd expect the home crowd to embrace it.
It's a mistake.
It's a Mistake was a global top 10. In Australia, it stalled at number 34. 10 weeks on the chart and out. Sometimes the home crowd is genuinely the hardest one to impress, and this is one of the more baffling examples of it. Number 7, Staring at the Embers by Tim Finn. Fresh from his departure from Split Enz, Tim Finn was searching for his own voice as a solo artist. Staring at the Embers is where he found it. Built around a spare piano figure and that impossibly affecting tenor of his. The kind of song that rewards repeated listening. Escapade won Best Album at the 1983 Countdown Australian Music Awards. The single peaked at number 34 and charted for 14 weeks. The awards panel and the charts were clearly not on speaking terms that year. Number 6, Magic by Dragon. Dragon had already reinvented themselves once, from restless New Zealand prog wanderers to polished Australian pop craftsmen. Magic is the next step in that evolution. Shimmering keyboards, Mark Hunter's velvet smooth vocal, and a production that catches the light at every angle.
I believe it's only magic. Ooh, I believe.
The album, Body and the Beat, would eventually reach number 5 in Australia. The single that announced it peaked at 33. The charts needed better glasses. This one deserved to be the song that opened the door, and in a lot of living rooms and pub jukeboxes, it was. Number 5, Never Gonna Die by Choir Boys. The Choir Boys announced themselves with a debut single that left absolutely no doubt about what kind of band they were. Pure, uncut, arms in the air rock defiance. And with Harry Vander and George Young behind it as executive producers, the pedigree matched the power.
When
Divinyls' voice was at full, magnificent, ragged maximum. And that crowd singing chorus fully formed on day one like it had always existed. It peaked at number 21. On the strength of that debut alone, anyone paying attention knew the Choir Boys were going to be around for a while. And they weren't wrong. Number 4, No Tragedy by the Radiators. Their highest charting single across their entire career, and still almost unknown outside dedicated Aussie music circles, which says something about how tough the market was for a Western Sydney pub rock band in 1983, and how much great music got lost in the noise.
It's no tragedy. Oh, you can work it if you want to. It's no
A guitar hook that lodges in the back of your skull on first contact. A song built for every summer pub session from Fremantle to Fortitude Valley. It peaked at number 27, which was a career best, and still not enough to crack the top 20. The Radiators deserve better. They always did. Number 3, With Closed Eyes by The Expression. The Expression might be the most undersung band on this entire list, and With Closed Eyes is the record that should have made them a household name. Clean guitar lines, layered keyboards, and a vocal that sits somewhere between earnest and quietly heartbroken.
I always close my eyes to look into the sun. I always close.
It was a genuine hit in Melbourne, reaching number 18. Nationally, number 27. 14 weeks on the chart. In a just world, it'd be considered a standard of the era. Instead, it's one of those records that lights up the face of every true Aussie music fan who hears it mentioned. If you've never heard it, do yourself a favour tonight. Number 2, Only Thinking by My Sex. My Sex had already given Australia Computer Games, one of the great local new wave singles, a genuine number 1. By 1983, they were a few years further down the road, and Only Thinking reflects that. More considered, a little more melancholy, but with Bob Clearmountain behind the desk, it sounds absolutely immaculate.
Couldn't stand another day. They won't give me a holiday. I just can't stand no.
It first charted in November 1983 and peaked at number 48. The whole band in the writing room on this one, all 5 of them. And Clearmountain doing what Clearmountain does. That it couldn't crack the top 20 says more about how crowded 1983 was than it does about the song. My Sex deserved better from the charts, and they never quite got it. And at number 1, I've got Precious Way by the Machinations. If any record on this entire list makes you stop and ask what on earth the charts thought they were doing, it's this one. Machinations were operating at the absolute cutting edge of Australian electronic music, and this track is the proof. Motoric pulse, glacial cool, and a groove that tightens its grip with every passing bar.
Hold me up in your own precious way.
First charted in April 1983 and peaked at number 21. My number 1 for 1983, not a moment's doubt. This is a record that sounds like it was made in a parallel universe where good taste always prevailed, and somehow it only just missed cracking the top 20. If you've been sleeping on the Machinations, it's time to wake up. So that's my popular but not hits for 1983. 15 great Australian songs the charts didn't do justice to. From the Machinations at the cutting edge of electronic music to Choir Boys announcing themselves like a thunderclap. From My Sex with Bob Clearmountain behind the desk to the Hoodoo Gurus just getting started. 1983 was one of the most creative and competitive years in Australian music history, and the charts only told a fraction of the story. Which one do you remember? From the pubs, from the radio, from Countdown? I'd love to know. And if there's a song from 1983 you reckon should have been on the list, drop it in the comments below. I read them all. If you're new here, subscribe and come along for the ride. Till next time, take care of yourselves and I'll catch you soon.